Hello and welcome to my studio journal. Now back in 2022, I started to redesign my home studio, shifting from software to hardware for the first time. What began as a few videos for some curious students soon became an ongoing unfiltered record. When I do this developing stuff in my studio here, designing the way things are going to go, I'd rather just play them out, see what happens, build something, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then move on. Boy, you waste a lot of time there. But in the end, that's the way I end up getting what it is that I want. I wouldn't have been able to think of building a rack unit for under here, and I wouldn't have done it had except for I've been in the middle of everything and remembered that my mom had this bridging shelf just sitting there that she was telling me that she wanted to get rid of. It was just that I happened to remember that this whole thing started to take shape. When I found out it wouldn't quite fit, then it was a matter of notching out the backs of it. So anyhow, this is turning out pretty well. I don't know what rack equipment I want to put in here yet. The next step is going to be for the power conditioners. I need to have one mounted on each side of the synth wall. How I want to change it up a little bit, I don't know. The main thing I'm trying to do now is figure out how to mount the power conditioners. So this is one of the power conditioners right here. Now let's see here, do I have it the right way this time? I never hold these things the right way. Anyhow, so this is the power conditioner. It has to be mounted. Now if we look on the back, there's a whole bunch of power outlets on there. And of course that's where all the synths plug in. Now the problem is, when I originally did it, I used a board like this. And those boards were basically cut from the shelves down on this side, the thinner side of the synth wall. So I used two of these, which was great because it could fit back in here. But the problem was it could not fit in the thinner part. It was too thick. So therefore I had to use these floorboards to make another version of the same sort of rack unit. But let's face it, it was pretty ugly. So I don't want to do that again. They were mismatched. They were trying to be kind of like a wood theme, but forget it. When cutting these shelves up here, these white ones, I ended up with a whole bunch of, I don't know if you can see it, these ones right here. All those are little tail ends of those shelves. So the idea is I'm going to make an exact copy of this to put over on those shelves right there. So what's going to happen for the narrow one? If we look at these shelves that are down here, we see that they're actually pretty long. Okay, so they're pretty deep. The one side is going to be longer and go all the way to the floor and be supported by the floor, while the other one is supported by the shelf. You'll see when I'm done how I'm going to make that work. It'll look like it actually fits on the shelf when it doesn't. I mean, you'll be able to tell it won't fit on, but yeah, it'll look close enough. It'll be able to be white. Plus, the thing is, I'm going to put them on the very bottom shelf of each side because there's no point in wasting all that space. Kind of like right in the middle on both sides, you're wasting valuable space that could be used for something else. Now I'm going to get to work on these things and see how these things turn out. That is the one rack that I built. So the one side goes all the way down to the ground. The other side rests on the shelf. It looks like it's all crooked, but it's actually straight. It's just the camera angle. But anyhow, so that one is complete. We move up to the other one right there. That one is complete as well. They both have the white sides on them. So it looks a little bit more of a matching thing. That will be moved down to the lower shelf once, like the bottom shelf, once I get that done. And the plates come in Tuesday, so I can put those in. And those are the legs for this unit right here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put furniture sliders along there, and then I'm going to fix those to the bottom of the cabinet. It's like, I don't know, 11:30 at night, and all the cords are back out because once again, everything has to be rerouted because now everything is of different lengths to reach the mixer that's over there on top of the rack unit. So with all the cord lengths now being different, the cords that I thought I wasn't going to be able to use, well, now I'm going to be able to use. All right, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and so far it looks as though everything is starting to Get a little bit better here. Things are actually really hooked up into the patch bay the way they're supposed to be. I did some small changes. I put the DeepMind 12 over by the other keyboard there because I'm going to try to make it so that I can use that to actually control the DeepMind 12. That's about the only other change that I made. Other than that, everything is wired up now. It just is a matter of trying to get all the cords hidden. I still have to hook up the UAD audio interface that's on the rack unit there, as well as route the cords from it up to the monitor switch. I also have to put the Zoom live track up to the monitor switch. In addition to all of that, I'm working on the patch bay diagram as to where everything is. It's around 5 a.m. in the morning because I'm working again on Monday, so I want to make sure everything is ready for then. All of this has been tidied up. It might not look like it right now, but it has been for the most part. This is what I have to try and tidy up right now. All of these cables back here. So this is kind of coming into the patch bay right here. It's a little bit of a mess there right now, but I'm going to tidy that up. Everything's hooked up into the mixer. Yeah, then I'm going to push this back for tonight. And then that's about it. I'm about done. Well, it's 5:30 in the morning, and I think it's time to go to bed. Basically, everything has been put back in the place that it's supposed to be. And in addition to that, it is all hooked up, which is another good thing. So everything is hooked up, so that means tomorrow is just testing and a few other odds and ends. I'm whispering a little bit here because I don't want to wake everybody up. But being that as it may, this is the end of day 21. Everything's getting better. Tomorrow I'm going to put the legs onto the rack unit and then maybe even get the rack stuff tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I don't have any of the USB stuff sorted out. None of the hubs are hooked up. I also need to have another shelf for down in that corner. This ends day 21 and we'll pick up tomorrow again. If you'd like to follow the full journey, check out my online studio journal linked in the description. Until next time, I'm just a music teacher having fun. Catch you on the next one.